The desert wind howled through the ruins of Pasargadae as Cyrus the Great knelt in the sacred grove, his royal robes coated with dust. The Zoroastrian priests had warned him against coming here alone, but the dreams had been too persistent, visions of a towering figure with golden eyes who promised to make Persia ruler of the world. As the full moon reached its zenith, the air before Cyrus shimmered like a heat mirage. A being emerged from the light, 7 feet tall, clad in silver armor that seemed to absorb the moonlight rather than reflect it. His face was impossibly symmetrical, his pupils vertical slits like a cat's. "I am Marduk," the figure spoke, his voice resonating in Cyrus' skull rather than his ears. "Son of Enki, Lord of Nibiru. Your bloodline has been chosen." Cyrus felt his breath catch as the Anunnaki extended a hand. Floating above his palm was a miniature vision of the known world, from the Aegean to the Indus, with Persia's borders expanding across it all. "The gold we seek is buried deep within your lands. Find it for us, and this shall be your dominion." The Persian king's hands trembled as he reached out. What manner of gold could be worth such a bargain? Marduk's lips curled in a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Not gold for crowns or coins, but the blood of the earth itself. The mineral that powers the chariots of heaven." As Cyrus' fingers brushed the vision, a searing pain shot up his arm. When he looked down, a strange symbol had been burned into his wrist, a cuneiform character glowing faintly blue. "The mark of our covenant," Marduk declared. "Now go forth, son of Persia. Your empire awaits." The transformation of Persia's military was immediate and terrifying. Within months of Marduk's visitation, Cyrus engineers unveiled new weapons that defied explanation: composite bows that fired arrows able to pierce stone walls, siege towers that moved without oxen or slaves to push them. At the Battle of Thymbra against Croesus of Lydia, Persian soldiers swore their blades turned away enemy weapons of their own accord. "It was as if an invisible hand guided my sword," wrote General Harpagus in his campaign journals. "No Lydian could land a blow upon me." But the true horror came at the siege of Babylon. As recorded in the Nabonidus Chronicle, on the night of the attack, blue fire descended from the heavens. The great Ishtar gate melted like wax before a candle. The Persian soldiers marched through the molten ruins untouched by heat, their eyes glowing with the same unearthly light. Cyrus entered the conquered city not on horseback, but floating upon a disk of shimmering metal. The deposed king Nabonidus, forced to kneel in the temple of Marduk, the Babylonian namesake of Cyrus' patron, whispered a warning before being executed: "You have made pact with the serpent that eats its own tail. When they finish using you, they will consume Persia whole." By the reign of Darius I, the search for the Anunnaki gold had become an obsession. Teams of miners, mostly conquered peoples and slaves, were sent into the deepest caves of the Zagros Mountains. Strange machines provided by the Anunnaki hummed in these tunnels, their crystal lenses projecting beams of light that made solid rock evaporate like morning mist. The cost was horrific. Tablets recovered from Persepolis describe the vanishing sickness. Miners who worked too close to the machines would begin to glow faintly blue, then disappear in bursts of actinic light. Those who survived reported nightmares of the great city in the sky and woke with their skin covered in the same cuneiform marks as Cyrus' brand. In 515 BCE, Darius summoned Marduk to the newly completed Apadana palace. The king's once proud face was now gaunt, his fingers stained with the mercury his alchemists used in futile attempts to synthesize the celestial metal. 5 decades we have searched. Darius roared, throwing a goblet of wine that passed harmlessly through Marduk's incorporeal form. "Where is this gold you promised?" Marduk's projection flickered, replaced momentarily by a vision of a massive underground complex, walls lined with pulsating veins of golden light, strange machines humming in alcoves. "You dig in the wrong places, little king. The true vault lies beneath what your people call Mount Damavand." That night, Darius ordered 10,000 slaves to the mountain. None would return alive. The disaster at Mount Damavand began with earthquakes. Then came the lights, great beams of blue-white energy shooting skyward from the summit. The slaves sent into the tunnels emerged. Changed. Their skin had turned gray, their eyes blank white orbs. They moved with perfect synchronization, killing Persian soldiers with their bare hands, their touch causing armor to rust and flesh to wither instantly. Xerxes I, watching from a safe distance, saw his army dissolve before these creatures. Then came the sound, a deep, resonant tone that shattered every piece of glass in the camp. When it faded, Marduk stood before him, no longer pretending at benevolence. "You were meant to be tools," the Anunnaki hissed. "But even the simplest tool must be discarded when it breaks." The sky tore open. Ships unlike anything recorded in Persian texts descended, triangular vessels of black metal that blotted out the sun. From them rained beams of searing light that reduced Persepolis, Susa, and Ecbatana to lakes of molten stone in minutes. The few survivors told contradictory stories. Some spoke of metal demons harvesting the dying. Others claimed to see Cyrus himself walking unharmed through the flames, his body now glowing with the same unearthly light as Marduk. When Alexander's scouts reached the ruins of Persepolis in 330 BCE, they found only two structures intact, the Gate of All Nations, and a strange obsidian monolith covered in glowing cuneiform. The Macedonian king ordered his scribes to record the symbols. As they did, the stone began emitting a high-pitched whine. Alexander, ever the tactician, ordered an immediate retreat. That night, from 20 miles away, his army watched as a pillar of blue fire consumed the ruins. In its light, some swore they saw shapes moving, tall figures with elongated heads surveying the destruction. The next morning, the monolith was gone. In its place lay a single artifact, a perfect cube of unknown metal, warm to the touch. Alexander ordered it placed in his personal treasury. That same night, he dreamed of a silver city among the stars, and a throne waiting for a worthy conqueror. When the last Persian mines yielded nothing but dust and the slave pits ran dry of workers, the Anunnaki's patience snapped. Marduk appeared before Xerxes one final time, his form flickering with barely contained fury. "You were given an empire, an army, and our divine guidance, yet you return to us empty-handed," he thundered, his voice shaking the palace walls. "The gold is the lifeblood of Nibiru. Without it, our world dies. And if we must burn yours to cinders to reclaim it, so be it." The retribution was swift and absolute. From hidden chambers beneath Persia's greatest cities, long-buried Anunnaki machines awakened, their ancient mechanisms humming with lethal purpose. The earth split open, swallowing entire legions. The skies rained fire, not as metaphor but as a calculated storm of plasma, reducing marble palaces to glassy craters. The Persian Empire, once the envy of the world, was erased in a single night, not by the swords of men, but by the wrath of the gods who had never seen them as anything more than disposable tools. Their only crime? Failure.